Hi, so today I'm going to show you how to paint and assemble these snowflake snowmen. It's a whole snow family. They could be men or women. I wanted to make a new set for this winter season. There's a variety of snow family people this time. So I have ones with hats, ones without hats, ones with scarves, some with scarves and hats, and then one that does not have anything. So there's a nice variety, and they're all different sizes. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how I painted these. So I'm just going to move this one up a little closer so you can see it, and I'm going to take it apart. So what I did was I speckled this one. I just kind of took my brush and just kind of speckled the white paint on there, just to kind of make it look like a snowstorm. So, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put that on there, and it kind of gives like a nice little farmhouse, like snowstorm kind of look. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint one for you. I just went ahead and did the same thing on all of these so you can see some finished ones. There's another one, and you don't have to paint the hat underneath because it's gonna be covered. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to paint this one here that I have not started. So went ahead and did all of these ahead of time so you could see the finished product. So there's those. So I'm going to do this real quick so I don't keep you on here too long. Take these apart, and they do come with stands. This is the 1/8 version of it. You get two layers for the 1/8. You get one for the 1/4 because you don't need two of them for the 1/4 because it is thick enough. So when you layer them up with two, it makes 1/4. So there's that, and the little pieces go in here, and just gotta line them up. And if you notice, then they don't go all the way through. So if you just have one, it's gonna go all the way through, and you're gonna have a little problem. That's why you need two. So, and if I made it too thin, then they would topple over. So they definitely have to be long enough. That's why they come with two for the 1/8 version. With the 1/4, it's obviously thick enough. Okay, so just wanted to go through and just explain the stands. So here are the pieces. I'm just gonna zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna move this over so you can see that a little better. And I am using this color here. It's Dixie Belle, and it is called Vintage Duck Egg. So that is the name of the color. I don't want to tip it because it doesn't have a top on. So what I do, I will actually put the cap on so you can see it. I'm going to shake the paint up so you can see. This is Dixie Belle. It's the chalk mineral paint Vintage Duck Egg. So it's kind of like a bluish color. So I wanted it to be more of a winter. I did not want this to be too Christmassy. I want it to be more wintry. So that way you can keep them out all winter long. So what I do is I just shake it up, and then I use the cap. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over here. What I recommend for this, it's just so much fun. If you happen to have old makeup brushes, these are great for painting. These are just old Bare Minerals brushes. Instead of throwing out your makeup brushes, hang on to them. Use them for paint. So another use for something you're going to throw out. So these are just old makeup brushes. So just another fun way to recycle. So I'm just gonna kind of pounce the brush on here. Here we are. Remember, you don't have to do the whole hat because you're not gonna waste paint on something you're not going to see. Try to save those paints. I'm just gonna move this out of the way. It is a little cold out here. I apologize. I have my heater on, so it's a little loud. I'm just gonna move this over so you can see that. It is January, so it's a little chilly. I got some silver on here from when I was painting the snowflakes. There we are. I'm just gonna hold this up here so I don't get any paint on my fingers, even though I'm covered in paint as it is. I really like this color. It's just such a nice wintry farmhouse color. And my living room is this color, so I love this color. Just a great farmhouse color. So there we are. And it's nice. I like this chalk paint because it covers really nicely in one coat. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this over to the side to let dry. And then I am using white chalk paint. And it's just the Craft Smart chalk paint from Michaels. Nothing exciting, just your average chalk paint you can get from your craft store. Nothing like, you don't really need to go out and buy real expensive chalk paint. I noticed that I did buy some expensive white chalk paint, and I didn't feel like it was any better than the stuff I can get at the craft store. So Michaels, and I think it was like $9 for this big jug, maybe a 15, but I used a 50% off coupon. Always use your coupons to save some money. All right, so now I always just use the cap. I just feel like I can save. I don't like to put it in those little containers, those little paint containers, because I feel like I'm gonna waste paint. I just like trying to save money everything where I can. All right, I'm just gonna grab some paint, and I'm just going to gently tap that on, put some on his hat, and I'm just gonna pounce that brush just like I did before. And I'm just gonna be very careful not to get a lot of paint in those little crevices. There we are. My nose is running. It's very cold out here. Even with my heater on, it's still quite cold. So that's why I want to do this pretty fast, because I want to get back inside. It is chilly. I've had my heater running since I got home from work, and it is now evening. It's almost 9 o'clock at night, and it's just not warming it up very much out here because it is that cold out today. Getting some pretty chilly days here in January in New York, so I have to make sure I keep that temperature up. It's only in the 60s out here. It took quite a while to keep that heat going. It's a little chilly out here. All right, so I'm just gonna make sure I get all those little crevices, make sure there's no paint in those crevices. And if you do, just take a little brush, or just take the brushes and just really get it in there. All right, and I'm pretty happy with that, and it's all done. And then I'm going to just put some little speckles on there. I have a fan brush that I put the speckles on. So I have a brush like this. You can use any brush, really. I'm just gonna dip it in the chalk paint. And what I'm doing, I just kind of flick. I just flick it on. Make sure I have enough paint on though. Oops, put a little too much paint. And if you do that, just go back, grab your blue. And I also always keep extra paper towel out here. My nose is very runny. And you can just always dab that right off if you put too much on. There's a big glob there. Usually that does not happen, but if it does, just wipe it off. And it's nice when you have like a nice little, kind of looks cool like that. There's a little dry brush look, and I'm gonna leave it like that because I like it. So I'm just gonna not take so much this time, and I'm gonna be very sparing. So you can see when you make a mistake, I showed you how to fix it when you make a mistake. So it's really not that big of a deal if you get a little extra. So just kind of, and you can do this with a paintbrush. I'll show you another way to do this. If you want to just kind of, I don't want to put my finger in this. I'm just going to use paper towel. And I'm already getting paint all over myself. My nose is very, very runny. I'm just gonna, you can take like your finger, but I'm gonna use paper towel because I don't want to get all over my fingers. You can just kind of fling the bristles like this. You do this with your finger too. And it just flings the paint on there. I apologize, I'm very runny. My nose is very, very runny from being outside in the cold. There we go. And you can just like fling that paint just like that on there. I usually do a better job, but you get the idea of how to just kind of fling that paint on there. And if you want a little less, just use a little less paint. I put a little too much on right away. So I'm just using a paper towel so I don't get the paint over my fingers. You can use a pair of gloves. And you can use, it's really good if you have an old toothbrush and you just take your finger and just rub it across the toothbrush. I just don't have an old toothbrush right now. I switched to a electric toothbrush. I don't have any old toothbrushes laying around. I should probably just go to the store and just grab a toothbrush. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So when you're happy with that, I'm going to grab a little bit more and just flick that on there. Oops. There we go. Now I'm getting it. It's the right texture. There we go. And just kind of flicking the paintbrush. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Move this over. Apologize. There we go, so you can see that. And you can see it just kind of gives it like a little, it's like a little snowstorm. There's snow coming down. And you don't have to do this. I just thought it was kind of a fun way to finish it. You can even use like crackle paint, however you want to finish this. There we go. And then once it's dry, you can just go ahead and layer this other piece right on top, and you can see how that's going to look. I don't want to put this right on because that's still wet, but I'm just gonna kind of get as close as I can so you can see how that's going to look. I'll zoom out so you can see. So that's going to look really pretty. And these have been really fun to make. So, and then for the stands, I'll paint a stand real quick for you. And you can see how I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and grab some white chalk paint. Oops, I used the wrong brush. Oops. No. Yep, I did. Used the wrong brush earlier. So I'm just going to grab a different brush. I have another. I did it. Put that right in there. All right. There we go. I'm going to do this in white on top. There we are. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my blue. And I'm just going to add that blue on the bottom. Easy peasy. All right, so that's all you have to do. And looks like I got a little bit of white paint on there. All right, and that's it. Just try to get all that white paint in there. Oops, got a little bit of blue on there. All right, so that's all you have to do. And I hope you like this new file. It's been a lot of fun. I really like making all the new snowflakes. There, I fixed it. They were a lot of fun to redraw. I did a lot of new snowflakes this time around. All right, well, thanks so much for joining me. All right, and I have a whole bunch of new ones I'm going to be showing. I have some new files I'll be adding. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.